Hello, I'm Dane, and this is Dane Explains. This is a topic I covered right after the beginning of my channel, but I thought I'd revisit in the light of some of the more recent developments on my channel. I'll link the first video in the description if you want to cringe your way through that one. Many atheists decide to not believe in God for the simple fact that there's a lack of evidence. Why believe in something that can't be proven? I went over why it might be a good idea recently in a couple of other videos. However, there's a good reason why God doesn't just prove himself, and it has a lot to do with faith and free will. Let me explain why. First off, I'd like to point out I'm not talking about the philosophical, logical arguments for God's existence here. I'm talking about the lack of cold hard scientific proof. With that out of the way, if you're a Christian parent, you've probably heard a kid ask you if God wants us to believe in him and listen to him, why doesn't he just come down and show us all that he exists? Usually, the answer is something like, go ask your father, or go ask your mother. If it's an adult asking the question, then usually it's followed by a bunch of hand waving. I mean, really. If God wants people to believe in him and follow him, wouldn't it be easier and make more sense to just show himself so it can be scientifically proven rather than hiding most, if not all, the scientific evidence of existence? First off, there are actually miracles out there that science has been completely unable to answer. Going beyond that, the answer is pretty simple, although a bit unsatisfying. God wants us to use faith. It's pointed out in the Bible in numerous locations. People need faith. There was even one spot where Jesus says he couldn't perform miracles in a particular town because of the lack of the faith of the inhabitants of the town, which just happened to be his hometown. It's Mark 6:5-6 for those who want to look it up. So, the question is, why did Jesus care if they believed in him before he worked a miracle? I mean, they would have changed their minds if he had worked great miracles there. This boils down to free will, or the lack of it. God wants us to freely choose him or reject him. If it was a simple matter of fact, like the sky is blue or the earth is an oblate spheroid, what? Were you expecting me to say something else? If you were a matter of fact, it would be pretty stupid for us to reject him, although not impossible. Flat earthers. God wants us to have a maximum amount of free will for several reasons. First, we lost the privilege of knowing God directly in this life when Adam and Eve fell. Secondly, there is a universe where everyone knows God, where all the beings God created there knew God existed before they made their choice to either go and stay with God forever or live forever without him. And that's heaven. All the angels he created knew him and were given a choice to accept him or leave him, remaining angels if they stayed with him, or becoming demons if they rejected him. Unlike them, and because of our inherited fallen nature, we are created without an innate and also known as a priori knowledge of God. The last reason is God wants our love, a real love. Consider an arranged marriage versus a non-arranged one. Yes, there's usually love in both of them, but a non-arranged marriage is generally much more exciting. It's like opening a gift on your birthday rather than getting something you always knew you were going to get anyway. Most of the time, when you meet your significant other-to-be, you fall in love with them for them and not because it was what someone else wanted. The church is the bride of Christ, and it will be wed to Christ. Without a prior knowledge of God, we have to meet him, or have an encounter with him, as some people put it, and then fall in love with him and desire to be with him forever as part of his bride, the church. Now at this point you may say, hey Dane, didn't you just shoot yourself in the foot there right from the start when you brought up miracles? Aren't they contrary to your argument? Well, my answer to that is a question. Were you ever an atheist and saw a miracle that convinced you God existed? Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please press the like button, subscribe to my channel, and ding the bell to get notified when I post new videos. Also, please support me on Patreon, link in the description. The more people support me, the more time I can dedicate to making videos like this one. So, until next time, have a great week.